buddy Jimmy Westerberg. You talk about a motherfucker that is all over the map with shit.
Yep. Oh, my God.
Jimmy suggested we review the movie Vulgar.
Mm-hmm.
This movie was released or possibly fucking escaped.
No,
Possibly escaped on September 13th of 2000. Written and directed by Brian Johnson, who is always and has been a big part of the View Askew universe.
a coattail rider.
Yes, essentially. Not essentially. Produced by Monica Hampton, Scott Mosier, and Kevin Smith.
And as soon as I saw that, I went, oh, where's this going to take us?
Yeah. This was made on a budget of $120,000. I could not find any box office data. Even at $120,000, I think this still lost money.
What I read on the wiki, if it's true or not, Howard Stern was given advance copy of this.
Yeah. No, I didn't just read this on the wiki. I remember it.
Okay, and he said he got halfway in and threw it in the garbage.
Yes.
And then...
But you're burying the lead.
Sorry, but Kevin Smith called in and talked to him about it, and it was like, the more you... And then, the people on the Howard Stern show were like, the more...
You're digging yourself deeper.
Okay, I'm shutting up.
No, I'm saying that's what they told Smith.
Oh.
Is essentially he's digging himself deeper by trying to justify this movie.
Oh, and then I think opening weekend it made like $13,000.
That's too much. Brian O'Halloran, who we all know as the Hicks family from the View Askew universe.
Yep. Correct.
He's Dante in the Clerks movies. He was Gil Hicks in Mallrats. He plays Dante or his cousins in the View Askew universe. He stars as Will Carlson, a.k.a. Flappy the Clown, yes. a.k.a. Vulgar the Clown. Starts off as a nice birthday party clown, and things go differently from there. Brian Johnson as Sid, who is Will's friend, yes. Will's best friend.
Yes.
And then we have Jerry Lukowitz as Ed Finelli, who is one of the most detestable, loathsome characters in cinematic history. You'll understand why as we talk about this movie. Ethan Suplee, who I love, as Frankie Finelli, Ed's son. Even in American History X, I enjoyed Ethan Supplee's performance. He played the part very well.
He has played. He was in.
My Name is Earl.
Yeah, but also the movie with Ashton Kutcher with the memory thing. Butterfly Effect.
Oh, Butterfly.
He was in Butterfly Effect.
Yeah,
and he played in that awesome. He is a great actor. He really is.
Yes.
I don't know what happened.
This movie happened. We have Matthew Marr as Gino Finelli, who's Ed's other son, who has a surgically repaired hair lip. I've seen him in a few movies.
Okay.
He has a surgically repaired hair lip in real life, and he makes use of it in a lot of his roles. And in this movie, he has a proclivity for videotaping things.
Yes.
Amongst other activities with his father and his brother, which unfortunately we're going to talk about later. Kevin Smith stars as a TV executive. Why they had to make him gay, I don't know. It served no purpose in advancing the storyline. But anything in the View Askew universe, Smith has to do something.
I don't think this was in the View Askew universe at all. I think this was just...
No, it's not technically part of the View Askew universe, but it's a View Askew
I think it was Johnson. It was probably Kevin giving Johnson a chance.
Yeah.
And Johnson being the dick that he is and writing that character.
Yeah. Scott Mosier, who is, who is one of Kevin Smith's longtime collaborators, and actually, a fucking valuable asset to View Askew Productions, stars as a as a daytime talk show host. Then we got Jason Mewes, because Muse. I think Smith is contractually obligated to put Muse in anything he has a hand in.
Well,
I mean, it's his best friend.
Yeah.
Whatever. Muse plays an employee at an unnamed. I don't think he has a name. An employee at a car wash.
Yes.
Who is also a black market arms dealer.
yeah.
Because
Why not?
why not? Exactly. And we have Scott Schaffo, who was the Chulies gum rep in the original Clerks, as a wife-abusing scumfuck,
Yeah.
essentially.
And also there was if in the original Clerks, in the extra stuff with a guy that shot Dante at the end.
Yeah.
He was in the audience of the talk show,
Yeah.
as was the guy when he yelled 37 dicks in the parking lot.
Yeah.
That guy as well.
Yeah.
So I just think it was people. Hey, it was everybody they knew, and if you were keen-eyed, you could actually see some very familiar locations.
Yeah.
During the filming.
Yeah. So Will Carlson is a, late 20s, early 30s, down on his luck birthday party clown.
Correct.
Living in a shithole
Mm-hmm.
in Jersey. And we first meet him as he's going in his beat up 70s Toyota Corolla.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out what fucking.
It was a
kind of car it
Toyota. I think it was a Toyota. I think it was a Corolla.
Holy.
But he's going to a birthday party as Flappy, as his alter ego, Flappy the Clown.
Correct.
And now he gets to the clown, or gets to the party, and the father is being arrested.
Yes.
This is going to come into play later. So the father's getting taken away, and the mother of the little girl whose birthday is says, that she's going to go get his money. But Will, being the nice guy that he is, he's not, no, don't worry about that. Do you think she'll be too old for a clown next year? No. Okay, so he does his best to try and make her happy in a bad situation like that. And he works as, he's not working a steady job. He's doing this clown thing. And while simultaneously trying to support himself and keep up with his needs and home situation, his living situation, he's also paying for his incredibly abusive mother to be in a ratty nursing home.
Yep.
Correct.
And he goes to see his mom. Or did I jump ahead on some stuff here?
No, I think you're about
Yeah.
right.
Okay. Yeah. So he goes to see his mom, and she lionizes his father, as I guess a lot of Jersey widows do. They lionize their late husband, and Will can't. He finally can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
About this guy. I guess he was not the good person that his mom's making him out to be. So Will leaves and he goes back home, and he's flipping through he's looking through the want ads. Kids, this is back before you could find a job on the internet, monster.com and whatnot. Yeah, he actually had to look in a newspaper, and he finds all these different jobs that are available, but he's like, no. And then he sees an ad for bachelor parties.
Correct. And multiple.
Yeah, multiple ads for bachelor parties.
Weird ads in a newspaper, which the hell?
Yeah. Jordan and Brian are asking why they never got their wings on Saturday.
Because I didn't go down there anyway.
Oh, anyway, back to the movie. Because I want to get this over with. So Will hatches a plan. And this is when we meet Sid.
His plan is
he's going to become a birthday or a bachelor party clown.
yes.
And he's going to show up in heels and fishnets and a bustier and shit like that.
Make it seem like
Yeah.
Like a joke, if somebody wanted to play a joke on their buddy for a
Yes.
bachelor party, they'd call him, and then the real people would show up.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, what could possibly go wrong in that scenario? What could possibly go wrong? And Sid is the one who comes up with the name Vulgar. Because he says, it's the most vulgar idea ever, or whatever he says. So he comes up with the idea for Vulgar the Clown. So Vulgar the Clown gets his first booking at room 37 of some...
37.
Yeah. I noticed that, too.
Yeah.
What?
From Clerks.
Oh, okay.
37 is in every one of Kevin Smith's movies.
Yes. Somewhere you will find a 37. But he knocks on the door, and he's greeted by the aforementioned Ed Finelli.
Yes.
Ed brought him there not to have any sort of fun for anybody but him and his two scumbag kids. Not essentially, we're going to cut right to the chase here. They, essentially, they gang
Him.
drug him,
Pretend that they're going to kill him, beat him, basically put his body through the ring.
There you go, Jimmy. That's exactly what Ed says to him. Me and you are going to bed together. That's a fact. I'm going to make hate to you. Now go on, get your ass up there.
Yeah.
And, these things happen. They drug him with hallucinogens. This is the absolute most fucked up fucking idea of bonding with your children that you could fucking think of.
And it's being videotaped.
Yeah, Gino's videotaping everything. So, they smash a bottle over his head.
Yes.
Yeah.
And an indeterminate amount of time goes past. We don't know how long this
Seems
lasted.
like the longest scene ever.
Yeah, it's very, very... It was very hard to watch. It was very hard to... I kept waiting for it to end.
Yeah.
So the next thing we see is Will is back in his apartment, and he's trying to clean himself up after the shit that's happened to him. He smashes the mirror. He smashes the mirror, and he ends up, with a piece of glass in his hand. And then he's sitting in the tub with the glass shard sitting on the side of the tub.
Yeah.
I thought, my mind went right away,
Yep.
he's going to unalive himself, or try to unalive himself.
Especially when they were reaching for what eventually is the loofah.
Yeah. That was a good deceptive shot.
Yep.
I'll give you that much.
Yes.
Brian, I'm a fan of Brian O'Halloran. Okay?
Yeah, me too.
I'm a big fan of Brian O'Halloran. And that's going to come into... I'll mention this. I'll bring it up at the end. Like I said, I just kind of want to get through this. So Sid comes over to see Brian. And Brian ends up... Or not... Well, I'm so used to calling him Brian. He comes over to see Will. And Will tells him everything that happened, but swears him to secrecy. Because this can't get out. This can't get out. I can't... And nobody can know about this.
Yes.
And so Sid agrees to it. So now, I'm assuming it's a year later.
They mentioned a year. The only time they mentioned it was a year when after he's already in the new house and everything else, because he's now comes the time that I think he's back on the horse, which again, I don't know how you even want to put clown make on up after that.
No, I don't. But he
is on his way to a party when everything's blockaded, the cops.
Yep.
And the first party now, there's it's a different party he's going to, but that father is now holding his daughter hostage.
Yes, correct. He's holding his daughter hostage, and somehow Will gets through the police barricade and works his way into the house.
And I think at this point what they were trying to portray in the movie, that this is somebody that feels like they have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Like almost like who cares?
Yeah.
And ends up saving the girl's life.
Correct.
And becoming a local celebrity.
Yeah, he ends up shoulder blocking the dude through a screen door. And the guy looked like your typical fucking skinny Jersey Italian dude that probably couldn't whip fucking cream with an outboard motor, but thinks he's tough. Mm-hmm. And like Bill said, he becomes a local celebrity. He's on the talk show circuit. And this is when the Kevin Smith character sees him on the news, or sees a report about him. And then he goes and talks to his boss, his higher up at the network, who is like he's setting up to hit a drive, but he's got a goddamn putter in his hand.
And this is another point where they put Walt Flanagan in the movie.
Yeah,
as the boss. He looked familiar.
Yes, he did.
And I could not place where I saw him from.
But his lackey was Walt Flanagan.
Yeah.
Smith's movies, you know who's going to be around. But the higher up from the network rejects the show or rejects the idea, and then Kevin Smith has to remind him that he passed on what's obviously Barney.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. But no special. Give him the deal, but nothing special. So now the executive goes and shows up at Will's house and offers him this TV contract. Mm-hmm. And he ends up doing a show called Flappy's Funhouse.
Yes.
And now we cut to, like, Will's now, he's doing well for himself.
He's got a new car.
Yeah, he's driving a Mercedes. It wasn't a Mercedes, it was an Audi.
Yeah, he's throwing beer bottles at the people.
No, it wasn't. You're right, it was a Volvo. He's throwing beer bottles at the bums that hang out outside his old house when they used to throw beer bottles at him.
Yes.
He's living the good life.
Yes.
And now we see a very attractive woman and her daughter. And I'm like, okay, what the hell's going on here? And then we see fucking Ed Finelli.
Correct.
And then I'm once again, what the fuck is going on here? What is she doing with that guy?
I know.
Right? And the mail comes, and inside the mail is a video cassette. Mm-hmm. And the video cassette happens to be Flappy's Funhouse Volume 8. So the young girl puts the DVD, or the VHS tape in the machine and starts playing it. And Ed realizes who it is on the screen.
Uh-huh.
And somehow finds his phone number. Oh, on the back of the...
I don't know. Somehow he calls him.
Somehow he finds Flappy's phone number. And he calls him and threatens him that he's got a videotape of everything that happened in that motel room. Mm-hmm. And that his son, there was one thing he loves is that video camera, and he's good at editing and yada, yada, yada. So he extorts him for $50,000 and says, go to such and such a junkyard. There's a 64 Impala. Leave the money behind the seat.
Correct.
So he goes there.
And tell Mason
that
you're looking for something else. He'll give you the tape.
Yes. So he goes to the graveyard, auto graveyard.
Yeah, same difference.
He goes to the junkyard, and puts the, and you could foreshadow this, that it was foreshadowed that he was going to get screwed over, because you saw the hood or at least to me, I knew something was going to go wrong because I saw the hood to the car was open.
Yes.
Okay.
Somebody was hiding in the hood, under the hood of the car.
Yeah.
That's where I took it.
Okay.
I thought there was going to be a shot of, Gino or somebody coming out of the fucking...
I thought so, too.
Yeah. I thought there was going to be a shot of somebody coming out of that. But anyway, so he leaves the money in the car, and then he goes and tells the guy that he wants him to recommend something else. And then he realizes he's been scammed.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He's been scammed again. So now, him and Sid are at the TV studio. And Will gets up and goes to the bathroom. And somehow the Finelli family got into the studio and into his bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And they threaten him again and hit him and tell him that, that they're gonna have a replay of that night. And
or we're gonna release the video. You come, show up, do what you're supposed to do, and we'll give you the copy. We'll give you the tape. Mm-hmm.
So
there was a scene too in a seedy basement somewhere. Them torturing some
oh
other guy
god,
too.
that was.
Oh yeah, torturing.
I don't know why that was put in there. It's like just to make you hate him more.
Yes,
yeah.
I would go with that.
Yeah, they're torturing another young guy, and
they framed it out like it was actually a kid, though.
Yeah, they did. It's fucking just terrible. Terrible.
But if you see, now the worst part is, though, if you look at the surroundings, it's the same basement that, and again, it's not in movie the same basement, but they shot it in the same basement where they met Muse.
Yeah. They did.
It was the same as my first thought was, don't tell me that they don't know what's going on in here.
Yeah.
No. It's just they reused the location.
Yeah.
Right. So they go out to they Will comes out of the bathroom and he's beat up. He's got a cut on his face.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
Sid's like, "What happened?" Well, they jumped me. Did you call security? No, they're already gone. Well, what did they say? And then Will says they want me to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this is when we meet Muse.
Yeah.
So now they hatch a plan. They go to see Muse, who conveniently has 2 pistols with silencers with the serial numbers.
And bullets.
Whatever. Okay. So the meet is set up at the motel again.
Mm-hmm.
And they're walking through, and a bum asks for some change for a coffee. And Sid's like, I don't have anything. They keep walking. Right? And then, all right, I'm going to go in. And then Sid's like, I'll be right behind you. Well, Will goes up, knocks on the door, and Ed has him come inside. And at this point, the bum comes up and attacks Sid.
A little bit after that. Because Vulgar goes in, he's getting videotaped, this, that, and everything else, and Ed tells him, to take his, stuff off, and that's when he saw he had sweatpants on.
Yeah.
And it kind of pissed him off.
Yeah. But in the interim,
yes,
Sid's getting jumped by the bum.
Right outside the door.
And the bum finds the wad of cash.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And the gun.
Yes.
So now Ed is pissed off. And he tells Gino, make sure you record everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now Will reaches down, pulls out the gun.
Correct.
And if you know anything about firearms, the scene made 0 sense.
Correct.
If you know anything, but it's a movie. Suspend disbelief. He pulls the trigger about 5 or 6 times and nothing happens. On a semi-automatic.
Right.
On a revolver, I could understand that.
Okay.
On a revolver, I could understand that. That's not going to happen.
A revolver would have made sense.
That's not going to happen on a semi-auto.
Yeah.
No, but what what happened shortly afterwards is one of Ed's kids is
well,
dicking around with the gun.
Yeah. Well, Frankie, Ethan Suppley's character, is dicking around with the gun, and Gino's like, Daddy, tell him to put it down. He's scaring me, Daddy. Tell him to put it down. And he points the gun at himself and, like a dumbass, pulls the trigger. And now the gun finally fucking works.
How about that?
And he shoots himself in the face.
Yes.
I will say this. It was the worst gunshot.
It was bad.
I mean...
It was a puff of smoke. There was no exit. Tom Savini didn't do this job. That's for sure.
Yeah, and then they just poured like strawberry jam all over his face.
Essentially, yeah. Then Sid and the bum open the door, and by this time, Gino's picked up the gun.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, by this time, the other son has picked up the gun.
And he's saying, you killed my brother. The fucking idiot killed himself.
Right. You killed my brother, but look at the fucking people we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
So, in the melee that happens, somehow the bum shoots Gino.
Mm-hmm.
Gino shoots the bum.
Mm-hmm.
And in the interim, Ed's taken off.
Yes.
With the camera.
Correct.
No, Ed
didn't have the camera.
Yeah, because
Will picks up the gun and the camera and gives it to Sid and says, "I'll meet you back at the house. Nobody's gonna get caught. Nobody's gonna get caught." And he gives the video camera and the gun, one of the guns.
No, he didn't give him the gun because he had the gun on him.
No, there was two.
Yeah, the bum had the one gun. He never.
Oh, okay. I thought he gave him the gun.
Gave him the video camera,
yes.
Right.
And then went chasing after
Ed.
Yes.
So now I could have swore it was fucking Action Park.
I don't know. I don't know where the balls came from.
But I like the slides that they were going through. I could have swore that was fucking.
That
Action
probably
Park.
was. I was wondering what the hell that was.
That was probably Traction Park.
Yeah.
Or a Class Action Park, whichever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So Will confronts Ed, who Will's going to getting ready to shoot the fucker, and he has a massive fucking heart attack. I get the concept of karma, okay? But now the police sirens are coming on, so Will runs off.
Yes.
Okay, his conscience is clean, and all the bad guys are dead. Okay, all the bad guys are dead. He did not have to kill any of them, so his conscience is clean, and he's free to be Flappy the Clown again and make the kids smile, which is a good thing to have happen, and take care of yourself. Because you're the only only you've got.
In the final run-up, it's like him putting 3 bad guys away.
Yeah. They do it like a Keystone Coppers type skit.
And one of them is old, one of them's heavy set, and one of them is skinny.
Yeah. Essentially stand-ins for the Finelli family.
Which again,
yeah.
I think I would have liked a more ominous warning or something at the end of that.
Yeah.
To almost say something other than his catchphrase.
Yeah. And that's how the movie ends.
Yep. No extra scenes.
Yeah, nothing. What's your final take on it?
I knew about this film years ago. Not through Stern. I don't remember how I knew about it. I detest Brian Johnson. I cannot stand him.
I'll get to that.
He is an awful person, and he's one of the reasons I probably still haven't been to the secret stash because I don't want to even be bothered running into him. And I did not know he helmed this, but it is just complete and utter dog shit. It is him riding Kevin Smith's coattails. He can't write for his shit. He can't direct for his shit. And I feel bad because and I too like Brian Halloran and Ethan Suplee. I enjoy what they've done in movies. This was it was just a favor. Everybody did this movie as a favor. I'm betting on it.
To Johnson.
To Johnson to get his film career jump started, and this is the piece of shit he puts him in.
And that's why you've never heard anything from Brian Johnson after this.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
he just sits. He goes to flea markets and is an asshole to people like selling merch that's like, underpricing him.
Yeah. What do you give it?
I give it the finger. I hated this movie.
Show it to the camera.
Fuck it. I hated this movie, and I avoided this for the longest time, and I know why I avoided it. And seeing it doesn't bring a new light. I detest it. Nobody should watch this ever.
Jim.
When I saw Kevin Smith, like I said, I didn't even know what I was getting into. Didn't even know what I was getting into. But I saw it when he was one of the producers. I'm like, okay. Now, I know you said you love Brian as an actor. Yeah. He sucked in this movie. It was almost like he was playing Dante as a clown.
No.
There was no, like, that scene after he got... When he came home and he was talking to Sid, I'm thinking, man, put some emotion into it.
What are you talking about? That was gut-wrenching.
Oh, but
that was gut-wrenching.
His voice never changed or anything. I don't know. It just sounded like Dante talking from behind a counter.
No. I got to disagree. I have to disagree with you.
But no, I will say fuck you to this movie, though, too, because it was fucking trashy.
Okay. This movie was a chore to watch. I found absolutely no enjoyment of any sort in this movie,
except the heart attack at the end.
Except for Brian O'Halloran's performance. Brian O'Halloran in this was outstanding. The scenes after his, would I rather listen to you two or watch Vulgar? I'll take you two. I will take you two every day of the week.
That's saying something.
I'll do a deep dive on you two before I would watch this again.
Yeah, this movie was fucking terrible. This movie was it was a Kevin Smith ripoff by a Kevin Smith meat writer with none of the humor, none of the wit. The only thing he got right was the look and the feel of a Kevin Smith movie and the occasional long-winded dialogue that Smith does. But Smith's long-winded dialogue is often funny and or witty. This was neither. I almost gave this movie the finger, but Brian O'Halloran's performance saved it from the finger for me. But I have to give this a huge thumbs down. This movie was fucking terrible. And no, Jimmy, I'm not doing a 436 song U2 deep dive. Yeah, Brian, you are out of the basement from Days of Thunder. You are out of the basement from Days of Thunder.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to also say this, too. Remember I said the worst movie I've ever seen was El Super Bisto?
This tops it.
This is now the worst movie I've ever seen, and I never see anything getting on, lower than this.
Not even that train wreck from a couple weeks ago?
Well,
nope.
no.
What train wreck?
Where they went to the mountain?
The Holy Mountain? Holy Mountain was better than this.
It was.
I know it was. But
it was.
Yeah.
Holy Mountain was better than this. This was a fucking chore to watch. And I've seen everything Smith has done. And I'm personally ashamed for Smith that he has his name attached to it.
I was just going to say, do you think he looks back and says, man, I can't believe I gave my stamp?
No, Kevin Smith, he has an ego. He won't ever say he's made a mistake.
Hey, I gave a guy a chance.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I've seen Kevin Smith speak at a lot of comic book conventions, and when he gets called on his bullshit, I haven't personally seen him.
He doubled down.
He doubles down. Yeah, he double downs on it and basically says, hey, no. Who has the mic and the money?
Oh,
exactly.
One of those people.
Oh, yeah, no.
Only when they get, he loves when people kiss his ass.
Yeah.
But if you go up there and you say, I've seen somebody said something about do you think you could ever write a character for Jason Mewes that isn't Jay? And he just basically ripped this person a new one, and and everyone was all about, yes, Kevin, you are correct. And again, I love Kevin Smith, but man, he is insufferable at times.
Yeah, I'll agree. He can be insufferable. Yeah, this is officially the lowest rated movie we've had. It was fucking terrible. Jimmy, why?
You're gonna make my movies look that much better.
Just why? This was bad.
And it's on YouTube. I'm gonna lead a petition to get this fucker taken off of YouTube.
I found it on.
It's on YouTube.
It is. I watched it on YouTube.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. I found it on It's not on any legit streaming service.
Amazon.
Well, you had to buy it though.
Yeah.
No,
dude.
It was only $4.99.
Well, that's fucking $4.98 too much.
I know.
Dude, when we go upstairs, I got a website for you.
I don't usually mind that I have to do this, but this one I felt dirty after I bought it.
Yeah, this movie was bad.
I need to delete it from my library. I probably got tracked now.
Nah, this one won't.
Oh
get
yeah,
you
you're
on
a
the
list. You're on a list now.
You might be.